Hello, grade 8. This is the start of our Renaissance Unit review. This is chapter 1 information, and I don't know how well you can see it from where the camera is, but I'll kind of go through it. Going back to chapter 1 and even further back, page 12, talking about our factors that influence worldview. What we're talking about is geography, ideas and knowledge and contact with other groups. So, Italy, where was Italy located? What was nearby? Why did the Renaissance start there? That's kind of the first thing. They were near a waterway for travel and trade from the eastern Mediterranean area and from all different cultures. They had a land route through to Asia for trade. They were near a ton of other countries. So looking on page 14 and forward from there, you kind of see where they're located. So that was a reason why trade started there. No monarch, no king leading anything, so no feudal system. That was also another reason. So geography, where they're located, near a waterway, near other people, other cultures of all kinds. Spread of ideas and knowledge, accepting more of all different languages, culture, and religion coming in, and contact with others. With that trade and travel and everything else, they're gaining information. So that's why the Renaissance started there. Going back, ancient times. So the Roman Empire, located in the Italian, Italy area for the most part. So they have a past to look back on and say things were pretty amazing back in the Roman times. As far as the architecture, they had political systems in place. They had the relatively clean and disease-free. Yeah, there were other things too, but they can look back and go and look at what was there once before. The fall of the Roman Empire brought in the Middle Ages or Dark Ages, medieval times. You'll hear different words. That's when people really didn't know who was ruling, who was in control. There was constant fighting for the land. The Roman Empire is falling. People are taking pieces of it. Different cultures, different religions are kind of doing it. So lots of turmoil. People gaining land, controlling kings, monarchs, feudal system, controlling lots of power with little people. Lots of peasants and workers working for it, so not a very good life. During this time, the Roman Catholic Church is gaining a lot of power and influence, letting people know that they need to do good on earth, and what they do on earth is going to lead to where they go after death, the afterlife. So that's what their mission is, to do good to do good, to praise, to pray, to do well, so that they have somewhere to go after life. So not much of it or an everyday life for these people. Not much of anything for themselves. It was you're working for your Lord to pay your taxes, to have life, and you're worshiping the church and doing good so you have an afterlife. So not a great time for a majority of people, the peasants. The feudal system is on page 23, you're going to refer to that. Trading is still happening through the Silk Road. You'll see that diagram on 16 and 17. You kind of see where things started. Venice, Genoa, which we'll talk about the Italian city-states, all across water, across land, all the way to China and further, back and forth, bringing ideas and knowledge, goods back and forth, a flow of everything. Still happening here, but only a few benefiting from that. That's the lead into the Renaissance. These ideas and knowledge were already spreading, people were already gaining information, and that just kind of continued. The Renaissance kind of starting in the late 1300s, a time frame into the 1600s, not a single event. But one thing that did help spur some change was the Black Death, the Black Plague. That's on page 25 there. Know what that is, know the effect it had, know that it's probably the one biggest time frame that people were dying from disease that were coming back with the rats on the ships in trade. They didn't know it. People are dying, up to half the population in Europe. But those that survived now question I have more to my life. What should I be here for? What can I do? Urbanization, that's a big thing, right? People moving into the city now, into the Italian city-states, looking for a job. Because a lot of times their lord, the landowner, maybe died. So they're not working for anybody. They just wanted to change because of all that was happening with their family and many people dying. They wanted something different, something new. So that was kind of the movement to start people moving urbanization, to start more of trade for everybody. That lower class peasant is kind of moving up into middle class because of the trade and the skills they're taking into the city with them. Carpentry, stonemason, painting, sculpting, anything, and they're getting paid to do it. So they're gaining some wealth, betterment for themselves. During this time, the church, I'll kind of flip here, is still trying to control. They're trying to get people, they don't want to lose faith in people. And people were not losing faith, they just wanted more humanism, value of human life also while on earth, and also the afterlife. But the church is still trying to get them to worship and give more to the church. The teachings are in Latin, which most people can't speak, just the church members. So they're still telling people about the teachings. The Crusades is an event where the Catholic Church spurred people's movement to want to take back the Holy Land that was once Christian based. The Crusades are on page 20 and 21. You can see the different routes they took from all over Europe and across into all different parts of Asia, trying to take back land that they believed once was Christian based. A holy war, in a sense, to get the land back for Catholicism. It became a hunt for land and wealth too, and you can kind of go over that on page 20 and 21. With the Black Death, with urbanization and more trade, again, spurred that movement. Italy, Florence, Venice, Genoa, the place where it's happening, because they've had trade. They've had the land routes and the sea routes. They don't have, again, a king. They don't have a monarch, a feudal system in place. They're letting people trade all different languages and cultures. They're not trying to kick anybody out or they're just getting for wealth. In Florence, remember the Medici family, the banking, what they did, the patron of the arts giving money back. Kind of go over the political and economic there. In Venice, the social system, the government, how it was ran. And Genoa being the commercial port where they're located, why all three were important to trade. Kind of just going through the chapter there, looking back at your city-states, know a little bit about each one. Again, big thing, urbanization, Black Death, change in point of view. Worldview is changing now that I have meaning on earth, worldview. I'm important, humanism. I'm here for more reason other than just the afterlife. Sharing of wealth and knowledge, getting paid for their trades, being able to not be controlled by somebody else. These are all things of part of chapter 1 that you need to kind of remember, go back through. Again, starting on page 12 with the diagrams about the factors here, going through page 45, kind of do some review. I'll give you questions. It's also on the handout that I will post the chapter review. So this is chapter review 1. We'll do 2 and 3, and at some point, as soon as you get back to classes, you'll have an exam on all this. I'll talk about this in the Zoom meetings when we do these two.